Today we're learning to make the Snowball quilt block, and we're going to turn it into a cute little name tag, which is perfect for going to quilt shows or quilt guilds. You can find a link to the pattern down in the description. It's part of How to Quilt, a Beginner's Guide. To make this snowball, I'm starting with a 3.5-inch square and 4 1.25-inch squares. And then I need to take and mark the back side of my 1.25-inch squares in half on the diagonal once. So I'm lining up my ruler, making sure it's going exactly from point to point. And I'm taking my pencil, marking that back side. I don't have to get it very heavy, I just need to be able to see it. There we go. I'm going to mark the rest of them. I like to start marking from the center and out. That kind of protects the stretchiest part of my fabric from getting really warped. And I'm not pushing down very hard. I use a nice soft lead, that way I don't have to. I'm going to take one of my marked squares and my larger white square, and I'm putting them right sides together. So my marked side is up, and I'm putting that square right over the corner of the larger square. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to sew across that line I just marked. I've got my presser foot down, I'm holding my threads, and I'm ready to sew. Now I'm going to trim the excess from the corners. To do this, you can use a pair of scissors or a rotary cutter and ruler. I've got my rotary cutter and ruler, and I'm just making sure I leave myself 1/4 inch from where that seam is. That way I have a little seam allowance. I can just trim it very quickly, going right around the entire little snowball. My snowball block is all sewn and I'm ready to press. Set all my seams, and my block's so small I can just do it all at once just about. And then I'm going to take and I'm pressing towards that dark. So it goes just pretty little easy quick. Just take them one at a time. Don't try to get fancy and do all of them at once. Get them all looking just like you want. For making our name tag, I'm going to actually fold myself a couple little guidelines. So I'm pressing this in half, just very quickly, a little heat set, just making a tiny little crease. And then I'm going to repeat from the other direction. I've just got it lined up in half, quick little press, and that's going to help us as we start to write. Now there are several ways to put your name on a name tag. That includes machine embroidery, hand embroidery, but the quickest one's probably just to write it. So here's how you can do that. I have written my name on a just little sticky note, and then I have lined my little block up using those guidelines of mine. I'm just helping myself center my name that way. And once I've got that like I want it, I'm going to use my fine line permanent marker, and I'm just going to start to write my name. And usually that first round isn't going to be as dark as you want, but that's okay. I'd rather everything just look nice that first time through. All right, we can see here I've got a little bit of a light line there. So I'm just going to start going back over my lines and get them as dark as I want them. I like to do a quick heat set of that pen mark, and it's going to get my creases out for me. So I'm just going to do a quick little press. I have all my pieces to put together a little quilt sandwich. I've got a backing piece, a batting piece, and my beautiful little front name tag. So I'm just going to put those layers together. They're all the same size. So everything should just line up nice and even. And then I'm going to take it to my machine and top stitch all around it. I'm ready to start sewing. I've set my machine to a zigzag stitch. I have a satin foot stitch on and my sewing stitch plate. That way I'm not going to break any needles. Let's get started. Got it down at a corner near the bottom. I'm going to start sewing. Leaving my needle down as I turn. If you're making a bunch of name tags, you could use an open toe walking foot. That way you can still do a decorative stitch, but it'll just create a more even feed for the name tag as it goes through the machine. And now we've made our little name tag. You can attach it with a simple safety pin. You can wear this to the show, to the guild meeting. You're gonna have a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed making this project. If you have any questions or want to show off what you've made, be sure to join our Facebook group. It's called How to Quilt AQS. And as always, thanks for watching.